Hello, this is April from the Yoga Ranger Studio, and today's practice is a gentle yoga flow just for your digestion. So if you've recently had a bout of stomach flu or food poisoning, or you just feel kind of crampy, bloaty, digestion doesn't feel like it's functioning quite the way it normally would and is a little uncomfortable, this practice will help sort of open that space, stimulate a gentle digestive action, and kind of help you feel a little bit better in this space right through the center. Couple of props we're going to need today: a blanket underneath, this is optional, a second blanket or beach towel folded, so you can use that for some of our poses, a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you can use a couple of pillows off your bed or a couch cushion, and a block. If you don't have a block, a pillow off your couch will work just as well, or a couple of books to help prop the top of the bolster up a little bit. Our first pose is going to be child's pose with a little bit of support to kind of just gently, a little bit of compression into the belly area. So take your knees on either side of the bolster about halfway between knees and hips. You're going to take your blanket and kind of tuck it up, or beach towel, up into the hip joint. So you get a little bit of space there and start to walk yourself down. So here you're going to turn your head to the left or to the right. Don't worry, I will let you know when it's time to turn the other direction. And just bring yourself down. You can walk those hands underneath the bolster and give yourself a little hug for the bolster, or up and over, or wherever they feel most comfortable and relaxed. Settle into your breath here. Find a little length in the spine. Kind of tuck your hips underneath you where they're more comfortable. And fill your belly, chest, collarbones, helping that belly kind of expand into the blanket, get a little bit of comfort here in that blanket space. Keep breathing into that belly, really allowing the belly to sink into that blanket. Get a little bit of gentle compression to help your digestion. Focus on your breath, extending your exhale, and softening the shoulders down toward the hips, softening the body into the bolster, feeling the support. And letting all the tension just kind of soften. So when you're really tense, your digestion seems to slow down quite a bit. It's that fight or flight syndrome. Digestion is one of the last things to come back online. And gently start to walk your hands back in, lift up. You're going to turn your head to the opposite side. Same thing here, focusing on the breath. Allow yourself to soften into the bolster. Just about one more minute here, softening, relaxing. So in this practice, our goal is to really relax everything, let everything kind of soften. And when you allow everything to soften and you come into that parasympathetic nervous system, that rest and digest, you can help heal, recover, and help that digestion begin to come back online in a natural, soft, gentle way. Start to walk your hands underneath and lift yourself back to center. Look straight down at that bolster just to reset your neck. And come all the way back up. We're going to take that blanket off to the side. We're going to shift our bolster so it's crossways across the mat. So you can leave your block down at the end. You can use that in this next pose or not. And we're going to take a supported bridge. So go ahead and start toward the edge of the bolster, lay yourself down, and then sort of inch yourself or the bolster so that it's right underneath the hips, giving you a lot of support. Now this is where that block can come in. If you want to, you can take your feet on that block, or you can take them down to the floor if that's okay for you. Tuck the shoulder blades underneath and really just let yourself sort of just completely release into the bolster. So in traditional Chinese medicine, our digestion is often ruled by the spleen and stomach meridians. We're going to focus a little bit on those meridians. They run on the top side of the leg and the inside of the leg, all the way into the chest and through the front of the torso. And just like in the last pose, we used a gentle compression to help stimulate digestion. In this pose, we're making space. So sometimes if you're like super full or bloating or cramping, you just need a little bit of space. And this helps kind of open up the whole inside of your abdomen to kind of give it a little bit more space so that your organs can kind of readjust if they're overly full or kind of shift around and move things through. So we're stimulating a slightly different way. Keep those nice deep breaths, extending your exhale longer and longer. This sinking breath allows your body to kick into that parasympathetic nervous system, that rest, digest, and heal. It takes the average human about 15 minutes to fully relax, which is why we hold some of these poses a bit longer in restorative yoga. It takes a little while for all the muscles to soften, your body to release. And that's where the healing and the restoration can begin. Just a little bit more than 1 minute left to go. Very gently start to bend one knee and pull that knee up toward the ceiling, foot flat. And then the other. Take a couple of breaths here with your knees bent. And then press to your feet. Lift your hips. You can take that bolster off to the side. Come all the way down. Once again here, take some nice deep breaths. And restorative, we move very slowly in between poses. When you're ready, roll over to your right. Come all the way up. And we're going to flip that bolster over and come onto our belly. So here's where the block might come in handy for your forehead if you want it to. Take your belly onto the bolster. You can take the block underneath your head, forearms supported. You can take that bolster more on the hips or more on the belly. It kind of depends on where you want it. Once again, some very gentle compression on the belly. Allow your pelvis to really soften into that surface. You can let your heels fall out or in. And just feel like your hips are releasing into that bolster. A real gentle compression. Just about one more minute here. Very gently start to press through your arms. Walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Come all the way up. I'm going to turn that bolster around to be supported by the block again. And here we're just going to take a twist. So you're going to take that right hip up against the bolster. Settle yourself into sort of a little twist. So take hands on either side of the bolster. twist just a little bit, real gently, and then come all the way down. You can turn your head to the left or to the right, whatever feels best for your neck. Shift that hip just a little bit away from the bolster, real soft, gentle twist. Deepen this, lift up just a little bit. Walk your top leg back behind and kind of tuck it into the arch of the bottom foot. Lengthen up, twist a little bit deeper, and then lower yourself back down. Gently start to press yourself back up to center. Bring that leg back in on top of the other. Turn yourself around and change hips. Once again, hands on either side. Add your little twist in. Slowly lower down. Start for this first minute, sort of a gentle, soft twist. To deepen your twist, lift up just a little bit. Walk that top leg back, put the knee inside the bottom foot's arch. Twist a little bit deeper and lower back down for the next few minutes. Start to walk your hands back and underneath your shoulders and lift all the way up. Bring that knee on top of the other, and you're going to turn yourself around for our last pose here. We're going to take our extra blanket and we're going to roll it the lengthwise way, so the longer version of it. Give us a little bit more support for the feet. We're going to take supported bound angle, so bottoms of the feet together. We have our bolster pretty close, about a fist distance away. Take that blanket, wrap it over the feet and around the outside of the hips, and kind of pull those feet in and lower yourself all the way down. Take some nice deep breaths here. This is going to be our Shavasana as well. Settle into your breath and really let your shoulders soften into the bolster. Your feet and legs be supported by the blanket. You can tuck that in a little closer if you want. Palms facing up on either side of your hips. Here again, a soft opening pose to help open the whole area of the abdomen. This is often referred to as the queen of all restorative poses. Focus on your breath here, breathing into the belly, chest, collarbones, and then extending your exhale and softly letting all the air out. Just a little bit more than a minute left here. If you have time to stay here a little bit longer, I highly recommend this. It's one of the most healing and relaxing poses you could possibly take. If this is, however, all the time you have, reach down, take your hands on either side of your hips and help press those knees together so the feet are flat, knees are up toward the ceiling. You can start to stretch those legs out. Maybe take the arms up overhead and stretch them out as well. And then bend the knees, take the arms alongside. You can roll over to your right side, staying on the bolster. And whenever you're ready, press yourself up to whatever seating position you like best. Keeping your eyes closed or open, take your hands palms up or palms down onto your knees. On your next exhale, drop the fingertips down to the floor. Inhale, sweep the hands all the way up overhead. Open your eyes, look up at your palms. Exhale, hands to heart. Peace and namaste. I hope this practice brings you some relief from whatever may be going on with your digestive system. Feel free to come back to this and use just some of the poses or a couple of the poses in the sequence a few times during your recovery period, or even when you just know that you have something coming up or your stomach just gets upset about certain things, or even when you know stress is coming. Stress dramatically affects our ability to digest properly, and if you don't digest properly, then your body doesn't function as well. So try this practice, get some nice soft rest, some healing. I wish you well. If you enjoyed this practice, please like and comment down below. And if you're not a subscriber, please join me, subscribe, click that subscribe button over here to your right, my left. And join me for new videos every single week like this and lots of different ones as well. I hope to see you again soon. If you are interested in deepening your practice, I also have a membership site with longer practices and more depth in the practices, as well as live calls, community forum. A lot of the YouTube videos are preloaded on there without ads and without a lot of what we call the YouTube fluff. All of the stuff at the beginning and the end that we need to add. You can always check that out down below. I have a link down below and also right up above here in the cards as well. So I hope to see you at one of those places, YouTube or online in some way. Have a great week.